Welcome back. Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. We continue conversations this morning and we speak with Mr. Eddison Thomas, and he is the marketing specialist of the Tobago Information and Technology Limited. Of course, you know, it's summertime, July-August vacation period, and of course we try to find some place to place our children, and the STEM camp is a good place. And so he's here to talk about that this morning. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to you guys. Glad being here on the show once again.
That's right.
Yeah. Right. So Eddison Thomas, marketing specialist from TITL, a title as everybody affectionately calls it. And I'm here to speak about STEM Camp 2025. But before we go into our segment, I just want to announce just a little giveaway on the program live. We're doing this live, right? So we have our rock stars up at the contact center, ready and waiting at the 211 contact center to host this live giveaway. So please pay attention to the rules, all right? So here are the rules. Everyone who is listening now, who has an interest of their child attending STEM Camp 2025, which we're going to explain in this segment, please call our contact center at 211. It's toll free. You're giving them the access phrase, I am going to STEM 2025, all right? And at the end of this segment, we're going to announce who is the live winner live on the program before we leave, all right?
Excitement.
If it is that you have already registered your child and you already made a down payment, then we will refund you. If you have already registered and haven't paid as yet, then the cost will be free, registration will be free, right? One lucky person would be will have the opportunity to give their child award that opportunity. All right.
It's a little bit unfortunate that I'm sitting here this morning because, I mean, STEM camp, I've had experience with STEM camp and it is very engaging. You hear the children talking about, Mommy, I know everything about a drone. How could you possibly know everything about a drone? Well, I learned it in camp and I know where drones come from and how to make a drone and all of these things that you engage the young children in. So I want to talk about a little bit about the program itself. What can we expect from the program and what is the age group that you're targeting for the camp?
All right, so the program comes under the STEM Academy. Last year, at the end of the last STEM, we would announce the STEM Academy, which we put the STEM camp and many other STEM activities under that umbrella to brand that program. Right, so the STEM camp, which is our flagship product from the STEM Academy, is a July-August vacation program where we take the children into modules of STEM disciplines. STEM meaning science, technology, engineering, and maths. There's some arts and stuff mixed in it as well. The age group is 7 to 11, and then there's a 12 to 17 years age group as well. So we cover primary school all the way up to finishing secondary school.
Okay.
Right? So we have tailored programs in each of the STEM disciplines to cater to the two age group that you see listed there, right? So science, technology, engineering, and math. We talk about drones and stuff like that. That is under the technology aspect, robotics aspect, where we take the kids into the process of building a drone up, but not only building the drone, but understanding how the drone works, how it flies, the science behind how the lift is achieved, and everything like that. So after they build and program it, they get to fly it. Right, so that's how the child came over and said, I know everything about a drone because we really teach them the science behind the drone, not just buying a drone for them for Christmas and just lay them fly, but they actually have the science and the knowledge behind the drone as well. Yeah.
And I see, I've passed through the camp and I saw how the children are engaging, and I see videos in terms of, for instance, building a circuit for the light switch and all of these things. So is it safe to assume that the engagement is hands-on in terms of the getting not just the theory of it, but the practical aspect in terms of you're going to build this today and you're going to see it work?
Yes, so the camp is about 90% hands-on, right? It's a totally different experience you're going to get from the school experience, which is mostly theory. We actually take the kids through a hands-on learning experience so that they could actually do the work that they say that they're reading about. They talk about the circuits, right? So it's not only bringing in a sheet and showing them how the circuit is on paper, but they actually get to build the circuit. They get to program the circuit. Last year they did smart home automation. So not only they built the circuit, but they learned to control it using smart home technology, where they would be able to switch it on and off from their phones, or for voice commands and everything like that. So it's really a hands-on learning experience. There was the circuit, there was the building the battle bots, right? There was also well, this year, let me go on to what we get this year. This year, we're going to take them into a lot of science and technology, a lot of science as well. So mixes and solutions. They're going to be actually mixing and doing chemical reactions. They're going to actually be looking into the microscope to see the cells that they can't see with the naked eye, right? These are things that the schools might as well, they will take you into it, but not in depth as we are going to expose them to it, to inspire them into really going into that field, because it's not about getting the head knowledge, right? What we are trying to accomplish is that we want to inspire the kids into really taking up this field as a serious career path, because Tobago, we want to be able to usher a new age of innovation in Tobago, right? Not just to have that so many kids in Tobago with that knowledge in STEM, right, could only bode well for the island's future development.
Okay, and what is the cost if persons want to know what the cost of the camp is?
Right, so the cost is $1,200. The camp duration is 3 weeks long, all right? And the course includes everything except for meals, daily meals, all right? So the only thing is that you have to send a child with meals, but the camp course includes everything, camp materials, and a field trip to Trinidad to experience VR World in SBCS. All right. So we partner with SBS in Trinidad. VR is an integral part. Virtual reality is an integral part of our program this year, and so we only saw it fit to take them to the premier VR space that we have in the country. All right. So we're going to be taking them down for 1 day, right? The different age groups, and we're going to be engaging them in the VR space, where there's a VR escape room, VR virtual experiences, and everything like that. And we come back and we continue the camp, right? So it really is an all-encompassing camp full of activities for the age groups involved. Yeah.
Viewers, have you all called 211 yet? Because as I said before, I'm sorry I'm sitting here this morning. I said I've been the first one to dial that number. Because when you hear about all that you are teaching and engaging the children in, and I don't think the trip to Trinidad was part of it last year. Was that? So that's something new you're introducing?
Something completely new. And seeing as though it's the biggest STEM camp we're going to, because every year is the biggest STEM, right? Because we have been increasing steadily in numbers as the years go by. This year is the biggest STEM camp. We already have the first cycle filled to capacity. So if you're calling now to register a child, you're going to be in the second cycle, right? But it's going to be a logistical task to take all the kids to Trinidad, but trust and believe we our rock stars up at the center, we are going to get it done, and trust and believe all the kids will be safe and they're gonna have fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good thing. Like you say, make a call, call 211.
Yes.
Get your child registered.
Yeah, I really like hands-on teaching, learning experiences, because now the child gets to see that they can do things that they might see on TV, or they might look at a YouTube video and they might see somebody doing something and thinking to themselves, wow, this is amazing.
And they might think it's too far away from
them,
too far away from their capabilities, but with the hands-on teaching, they realize that, no, I can do this thing, we could do this thing.
Yeah, and trust me, been observing it now for the past 3 years, and I have been seeing on a first-hand basis how this camp has been really inspiring kids to go into, because we get some of the kids from standard 5, right? Or even Form 2 and Form 1. And when you do the follow-up a couple years later, they literally tell you, sir, because they go back into the schools, sir, I choose IT, I choose science because I went to the camp last year and I really feel like I could really go into this thing, right? So the camp is really doing the God's work when it comes to innovation on this island, and really doing the job it's supposed to do in inspiring the young kids into going into STEM fields. So what I want to also do is give some shout outs to Signal Hill Primary School, because the camp has grown beyond the doors of Tittle now. And so there's a beautiful space that we identified with the Signal Hill Primary School, and we did some collaborations with the principal there, and they allowed us to host the camp at the Signal Hill Primary School this year. So we now have the space to host the biggest STEM camp, right? That we have ever hosted.
But how do you, I'm happy that you have a bigger space, but does it have the capacity in terms of, I know you have to have equipment, and would you be able to move all of those things over there for them?
Well, the beauty of the Signal Hill Primary School is that it's walking distance from our headquarters in Signal Hill. So everything that we need is just across the road, right? So the infrastructure in terms of the computers, the laptops and everything, the internet availability, everything is going to be shifted over there. And we're going to make out this space into a true innovation and learning space. Well, it already is because it's our school, right? But really kit it out for the needs of the camp, because there's not too much stuff to carry back and forth.
Okay.
I do hope that you update us with the camp as you set up the village there in the school,
Yes,
with the
yes,
equipment,
yes.
and see the children kind of interacting with it. Any calls came in yet? That's what I'm interested in.
It came in a while ago.
Okay. Actually. All right. Let me allow the winner to claim the prize.
At 7:48, right, I got the message on my phone, and so we got the name of the child, who is Shamfa Melville, and the name of the parent is Skylar Jack, right? So congratulations to you. Shamfa Melville has won herself a spot at STEM Camp 2025, all right?
Congratulations, Shamfa.
The contact center would have already gotten their details, right? And parents who did not get through, don't worry, still, your information is there. Still have your child attend the camp. I assure you it will be an experience that they will not forget, and one that they can carry with on their journeys for the rest of their lives.
Thank you so much, Eddison Thomas, marketing specialist at Tittle, talking about STEM Camp 2025. Before we go to a break, are you planning home improvements this summer? Great news, Tobago Glass Supplies is having a massive summer sale. This is your chance to get heavy-duty door frames with sizes from 28 by 80 up to 72 by 80. Perfect for any renovation or build. Don't miss their summer savings, their summer of savings. Visit Tobago Glass Supplies at Rousseau Trace Spring Garden, or call them on 639-6266. That is 639-6266. Remember, Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, reflecting quality. Go get those deals. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations this morning. And as we go, we invite you to help us.
Share the live, share the live, share the live.
We'll be right back.